That. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Hey, goodness to you. It's Sporty King. Wondering if this went through, but we'll see. Well, you know if you're there already, right? But I always like to come on 5 minutes early, and I am doing the broadcast at a new time, 1:15. So get used to that. I'm going to need to do that for the next couple of months. Okay. And so I like to try to get on 5 minutes before the start time, especially when you think about how it's an off start time of 1:15 instead of 1 o'clock. So you want to always give someone, giving you a tech tip. You always want to give someone a chance to adjust their schedule. Let's say somebody put, oh yeah, 12, especially since again, it's a change. Oh, 12:15. Okay, I'll remember that. And then it's 12:15. Oh man, I forgot to do this. Now you give them a chance. Okay. So that's what I like to do is remind people to give everybody a tech tip when you can and give them some time. But welcome to Glue Wednesday. And I always say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? I also come on early because I could do we got less than 4 minutes for today's message, but I get to do my shout outs since I'm going across three mediums, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube simultaneously. So put your name in the chat there and I can click on it and say hello and then let other people see where you're viewing in from as well. Sometimes people enjoy that. I've had a couple of friends of mine not know that they were both on my list. And because they were watching a Glue Wednesday broadcast a couple of years ago from different mediums, one was in LinkedIn and one was on Facebook, they saw the name when I clicked on the shout out and it's like, hey, how you been? So they end up getting back in touch. So that ends up becoming another good reason to do it. Another tech tip. We got less than 3 minutes for today's message. All right. So put your name there in the chat. Let me click on it and give you a shout out and hopefully a wonderful flashback of where we met. And especially if you're a new person, thank you for coming on. Even if you're watching a video, you can still put your name in the chat and say hello. And that will be just fine because I go back. See, there goes my first one, my homeboy, Haas. It says Jose Valencia on your screen, but we call him, his nickname was Haas back in New York. So growing up together. So what's going on, man? It's good to see you. You kicking butt in fantasy now, ain't you? You got your groove on. Yeah, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Maybe those years off did you some good. What's going on? Joyce coming in from the ATL. Yeah. Well, Joyce, your name already shows up on the thing. So you don't have to type your name in. You can say, hey, Sporty, whatever. Just see another tech tip. You never know. 2 minutes before today's message. But what's going on, Joyce? Hope everything is well with you. And then Daphne coming in from Chicago. Yeah, so we got three. We got New York, ATL, and Chicago represented so far. Great. Good to see y'all. And Daphne and Vic, thanks again for coming in on the new adjusted schedule. Let's see if that helped. I mean, Daphne and Haas, let's see if that helped Vic, because, Vic's been coming in a little toward the end on the last couple of weeks, so maybe he's got something else going on. And that's great, That's recognize that people have stuff going on. And sometimes we just forget about that, and we can get a little, like they say, get your panties in a bunch, or we won't wonder where's so-and-so. People got stuff going on. So I definitely respect that one another's time, and that's why I try to make sure I respect yours. What you say, Haas? Quarterbacks is my issue. Yeah. We talking fantasy football, y'all. Y'all can sit back and enjoy. But yeah, it's fantasy football season, and we are doing fine. Well, look at me, Haas. I had the first pick and I blew it, right? My guy is out for the year. So, and that's how it goes. And Joyce, yep, I knew you were coming in from Knoxville, but there you go. That's how you want to do it. We got less than a minute for today's message. But Knoxville, Tennessee, y'all, not Knoxville. Knoxville, that's where a lot of us are familiar with University of Tennessee, the orange and white. That's where they're actually located in Tennessee. So that's great to see you, Joyce, and welcome. I believe this is your first time. If it's not, it's your second, because now I'm having a flashback, but we'll see if it's a flash. All right. Let us know. Let people know. And then Roger. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I even told her that I say hello to her. She's teaching Bible study now on Wednesdays. And so that's why Roger Carroll's not with us. Roger Carroll my Chicago sister is here in Charlotte now. And yeah, we got together for dinner a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. And I told her that I would tell y'all hello, and I forgot. So thank you, Daphne. That's where she is. She's teaching Bible study. So let's get on the road because it's now 1 o'clock. All right, 1:15. So welcome to Glue Wednesday, especially if it's your first time. And I call it Glue Wednesday because so often we hear people say Wednesday is hump day. I started Glue Wednesday back in 2017. And the reason people say hump day is I always say old school rules because, we used to just say, hey, you work Monday to Friday and the weekend. We didn't have the term flex time, though there's always been flex time because you got hotels, public transportation, restaurants, okay? So there's always been flex time. There just wasn't a name for it. So I looked at the fact that Wednesday is the middle of a traditional 7-day week, regardless of when you work. You may work actually Thursday to Tuesday, Thursday to Monday. So, but Wednesday doesn't have to be the hump. It's the middle of a 7-day week regardless. And so it's the day that keeps the week beginning and the weekend together. Therefore, I see it as the glue, and it puts me in one of my favorite poses, a prayerful pose of appreciation. And that's why I decided to let GLUE stand for GLUE. God's love undoes everything. Not that God's love will tear things apart, but what has been torn apart, God's love will pull it back together. And pulling it back together from Chicago is Lorenzo coming in with us from Chicago. Greetings, family. And that's it. We become a wonderful family as we share this message every week at every time possible. Old people, old schoolers, let's stop complaining about technology and let's get used to it. Let's get better at it because it's where the world is going. We are part of the reason for technology. We wanted shortcuts. Every generation does that. And I know every generation has something to say about the last one, but man, where can we stop that buck? Let the buck at least stop in your house, okay? Just a thought. I move on. So welcome, Lorenzo. But anyway, so God's love undoes everything. And so what I did when I started it, when the pandemic hit, I switched to also using Glue Monday and Friday as well. And now that it is amped down, I won't go into just Wednesday. But I had started what I call the gas series, and that was the Glue Alphabets. The Glue Alphabet series. It's not I guess I lost that slide. But every week I'd have a different feature letter, and people would give me words beginning with next week's letter, and then I would end up weaving that word into the message somehow. Well, what I decided to do a few months ago is I switched to what I call the GAIN series. It's the glue analogies in numbers. So we're using numbers instead of letters for this particular series that we're doing. And so each week I'll introduce you to what I call the GAIN pledge, which will always have a new heading that incorporates the word gain. Last week it was deep gain. As I flash back to a wonderful comment in the thread by family member Daphne Francis. Okay, this week's gain will be thanks gain, as I appreciate all you've done to help me keep it together through glue. And I will share my process in creating the message one last time, which can give you an idea of how to use it in other parts of your life to really make the numbers work for you rather than you working for the numbers. And the reason I say one last time is because next week we're going to start a new series. And I'll tell you more about that as we get to the end. But meanwhile, staying with the GAIN series, today's numbers were volunteered by Geraldine Gerri Miles Fortson. I'm on my homegirl. She volunteered 7. Daphne Francis gave us 14. Victor Morris gave us 50. And Jose Valencia Haas gave us 52. And so what I start out doing is I look for the commonalities in the numbers. So what do you see? Go on and write in the chat. What do you see in those numbers? Is there anything obvious or that they may have in common? And I'm going to give you just an extra little added moment. Number one, 2 reasons. One, there's a delay in the technology to when you post, since this is going to go across 3 mediums. there's a tech delay with what you post and hit enter. And then two, I want you to think about what you see as a content. See, I've already prepared it, but I want to slow down and see what you see. What do you see in those numbers? And by the way, it was great because last week I got to send my friend Wes Busey. He said, "Well, what's the technology you're using?" This is called StreamYard. StreamYard allows me to broadcast in LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook at the same time. But you pick a plan of how many places you want to broadcast. And hey, here's somebody coming in from North Carolina, but my homeboy from New York, Brooklyn, New York, and we went to college together. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. Barry, what's going on, Barry? Good afternoon to you as well. And what we're doing now, Barry, is as you look at these numbers, what do you see in common? Do you see any kind of a pattern? Because we're looking for the gain analogies. Then how can we make these numbers work for us? What do you see? I told you Vic would get here. Vic, we gave you a shout out earlier. I said maybe with the latest thought, that'll give Vic a chance because he must have been doing something. They made him come in toward the end. He said, so welcome, Vic. And quickly, because I'm giving a little extra time, and y'all going to see why I'm giving a little extra time. Vic, what do you see in the numbers? What do you see? Okay, Haas says he sees the 5 and the 7 are being repeated. The 5 and the 7 and 7 and then 50 and 52. Daphne says there are 3 numbers with 5, even though I only see 2. And 5 is the number of change. Daphne, oh, look at Daphne. I'm with you, Daphne. 1 and 4. 14 is 1 plus 4, and that's 5. So there you go. All right. See, that's the kind of thing. So, and 5 is the number of change. Thank you, Daphne. I didn't have that one. Good. See, so anything else? I'm gonna just pause a second because I know I got Joyce and Vic and Lorenzo, if they're still on here. Okay, we're gonna roll on. And even if you're watching the video, if you see something, put it in the chat. And then when it comes up to that, you'll be able to see how the wonder of how it all came together. But here's my point. Everything that you just shared feeds into why I appreciate you. Excuse me. And my affirmation on the word thanks. THANK. The heart always needs kindred spirits. And see, so as you were looking for the commonality in the words, that's the kindred spirit that we share and that I really appreciate. That's why I took a little extra long time to put in there, because I already knew that it was just going to be a matter of coming up with something that made us kindred spirits. I saw the 5 and the 7. So did I. Daphne saw the 3 5s, and I didn't even see the 3 5s because I didn't see the 14 as 1 and 5 this time. And that's the key. We always may see things and then Vic says he sees the 7 in 3 of them. Woo. Vic saw a 7. Let's see. We got 7. We got 5 plus 2 is 7. Where's the third one, Vic? Nope. We got to get hooked on phonics. And you're gonna get real creative on me to let me see where you got that third 7 from. Okay, but maybe you just meant to say you saw 7, but that's not important because if he sees 3 7s, guess what? It's make the numbers work for you. He would make that work for him. That actually becomes a part of it. So thanks, Vic. I want to add that to it. Oh, look at that! Bam! 14 minus 7 equals 7. I love y'all. That's the creative you wanted. Oh man, that's the bomb, man. Look, Vic and Daphne, bless y'all for blessing me. And that's what I'm saying. That's the kindred spirits that we have. And the heart always needs kindred spirits. So that's what thanks is all about. Okay. So thus, my guiding scripture is kind of the opposite. Okay. It's kind of opposite of who all of you are to me. And it will be, these people honor me with their words, but their hearts fall far away. Matthew 15 and 8. And because that does seem a little opposite, it will have a subscripture of Matthew 15 and 19, which says, from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery. all other sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. To get today's message, which is half can be whole. And I actually use VIX 50 to get my message today. Half can be whole. All right. Now, meanwhile, if you're not familiar with the scene in Matthew 19, from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all other sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. If you're not familiar with the scene, what was happening is Jesus is explaining to his disciples after Peter asks what regarding what Jesus said in Matthew's 15 and 8 about the Pharisees and teachers of religious law. Peter's asking Jesus, what did he mean when he said people aren't defiled by what they eat? And so Jesus explained in 17 and 18, it's the setup for our guiding scripture of, for this guiding scripture of from the heart come evil thoughts. The 17 and 18 is the setup. And it says, anything you eat passes through the stomach and then goes out the body. But evil words come from an evil heart and defile the person who says them. Now, I'll come back to that, okay? Daphne, time to go deep. And y'all went deep already on me. You and Vic already went deep on me with the 5 and the 7. But here I'm going to go deep, okay? The reason I said that I use VIX 50 is for my message because 50 equals half. 50% is half. And the last word in my affirmations is spirits. Well, what I did is I put Jerry, Daphne, and Haas's numbers together. And the spirit that came to me was January 14, 2007, when my mother died. At the time, I was 52 years old. I wrote about it and dedicated my book, Stuff Happens, in memory, and to my memory of my mother. Here's the excerpt from the book. It says, oops, no, I should have been ready with the excerpts. Okay. Stuff happens. I don't know if you know, but we've all got stuff and have been through some stuff before. Good stuff, bad stuff, fun and sad stuff, old stuff, new stuff, black and blue stuff, sometimes lying to you stuff. Your stuff, my stuff, our stuff, their stuff, whose stuff, and whose stuff. Soft and rough stuff, mild, easy, and tough stuff. And the truth is, it's really usually hard stuff. And it happens. The joy is that it's testimonial stuff. And it happens. You see, the stuff I'm talking about is the STUFF, situations that unleash our focus and faith. And my stuff came on Sunday morning, January 14, 2007, at around 2:46 a.m., 14 minutes to 3. So as you can see, I was already making the numbers work for me with 14 and 7, and I said 236 is when, was my math wrong? Yeah, 36 plus 14 is, that should be 246. My bad. So that 246 plus 14 is 60, right? Will be 3 o'clock. All right. So see, there I go with the math. Vic, you would have had to help me with that. But anyway, so that should say at around 2:46, 14 minutes to 3. But then, as I was preparing the message from Matthew 15, I saw a footnote that I had put in my Bible at Daphne 14, where I turned Haas's 52 around and made it a 25, and it read, about 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came to them walking on the water. So see, I had actually written that in my Bible. So while I was in 15, I saw that I had circled 14 and 25 and 3 o'clock. So see, that's why I had made the numbers work for me. And that's why when you add it all up, I decided that our message today should be about how we must learn to continue to live, even when a percentage of our lives have died. Thus, half can be whole. We must still find a way to be whole. You see, sometimes half is all you have to give. And so that's why you have to give it. Wow. And yeah, doesn't it make a wow? Well, that's why I said when you did the 514 and Vic did the 5 minus 2, that's what you have to do. It all connects, but it takes concentration. And that's why I say today's message is that I want to honor thanking y'all because y'all are the spirits that keep me going to help me. That's the glue. You keep me going, keep it going together, and I keep it for you. And here's some of our spirits that have kept it going for all of us. So today, what I'll do is give a message from each one of your numbers as they appeared in 3 of my books. First, Jerry's 7 is found in my affirmation with a thanks to our military family for helping us keep it together while doing all they can to keep it together. And it's veteran, valued energy toward empowered reaction above the norm. That's what a veteran does. See, celebrate your freedom knowing why you can. Our veterans have already served that time. See, I'm not just talking about the people in there now. I'm talking about the veterans who have served. And so they value their energy and they got it. They empowered us to continue to live because they came home and told the story. And that is why we have to give thanks to our veterans. But I also brought this up because this is actually in the dedication of that book. I dedicated the book to my military family. Here's what I wrote. I dedicate this book to my military family because with all the acronyms they have to remember, remembering to keep their lives together impresses me the most. And so thank you, military families. And that includes those of y'all who have veterans in your family and those of you who have members who are currently celebrating and will one day be a veteran. So veteran, valued energy. We value your energy toward empowered reaction. We value your energy toward giving yourself a reaction of empowerment rather than backing off. It's above the norm because most people won't do it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next is Daphne's 14, which is in my book, I Found Out I'm Living. And it's on page 14. The poem is called Invisible Light. And I'll read the introduction. Spiritual growth is the base and most fulfilling aspect of recognizing the blessing in your gift of life. Crucial in recognizing that gift is understanding the power we each possess to take steps toward making our lives full. That power manifests itself most when we can minimize the negative impulses surrounding us in the forms of people or situations. In fact, my 1997 started out with my family's losing our second child in as many years. At the funeral, I dedicated Invisible Light to my brother, Landy, whose name was Orlando, while reminding the congregation that we all need invisible light. Hence, while so many people felt, I had to be at the funeral, I reminded them that only Landy had to be at the funeral. Unfortunately, so many of us only get in touch with our mortality after the loss of another. My tribute went on to be heartfelt, entertaining, and representative of our family's spirit of celebration. Here's Invisible Light. The Lord is my shepherd. I should not want, but I do. I want to see his light, to reach up and touch praise, to lean forward and taste salvation, to perk up and hear glory, to lean back and smell peace, to open up and see resurrection. See, my walk has never been a straight line. My path has twisted, turned, tripped, and stopped, and my burning has always won new layers of faith. strengthening my A armor, blessing my B blood, christening my C consciousness. And as the ABCs of my life turn to GODs, the smile in my spirit is renewed and my want for light becomes need. Invisible light. So I hope you heard me use all 5 senses in there. So here goes your 5 again. But that was I want to see his light. I want to reach up and touch his praise. I want to lean forward and taste salvation, to hear glory, to smell peace, and to see resurrection. So using all 5 senses, always making the numbers work for you. Thank you, Daphne, for invisible light. What you say? I'm going to use that. Only the one who graduates needs to be. Right. Thank you. Yes, definitely use it. And isn't that it? Because, people say, oh, yeah, well, I had to be at the funeral. No, you didn't. No, there are plenty of people who don't go to funerals because they say, I don't want to see that. I don't want that to be the last way I see them. There are plenty of quote unquote good reasons, so no one has to be at the funeral except the person who is actually dead. And so, so don't feel bad, if you don't go, and don't feel pressured into going. Celebrate that person's life. Again, there's the invisible light, and celebrate that person's spirit in you. You don't have to make a public proclamation of your celebration. Now, some people do. They go to funerals for being politically correct. But if that's you, that's fine. But I don't believe that you have to do it. So thank you, Daphne. Yeah, definitely use that. And you know what? Just that little breakup of laughter made the funeral a lot more palpable. Wait, I've spoken at 18 memorials / funerals over my life, and I always bring a good message and some laughter and some peace to the people. All right. So the next one, I'm going to stay in I Found Out I'm Living and use 52, which is Haas's number, and it was pressure, a thing of the past. Our most stressful moments are those in our minds where we worry about hardship or pain. Yet it is after we've recognized those moments as blessings that we forget about winning or losing and enjoy being in the game. We relax and recall the fragrance of that day, even that minute that we thought we wouldn't make it, and smile at how we've blossomed, overcome, and stayed alive. We see ourselves as the diamonds we are, who went through what we had to survive. Our flashback sparkles with happy days and memories where pour was POUR and something that you did to season your food. To days where people respected one another and even the oldest of kids was not rude. What we depress is any vision that says we're lonely. For our belief reminds us that we are only physically alone. And it's our choice to look at our surroundings with sadness, or remember a certain crown of thorns and a throne. Each of our days becomes Sunday, SON day. For to wake up is a blessing with no disguise. To wake up is another chance to make a difference, to eclipse new hurdles and become more wise. We allow ourselves a bad moment, but as a whole day, that moment cannot last. Because we've proven we can take the pressure, and that's why it's a thing of the past. Let pressure be a thing of the past. We have pressure in our lives, but the kindred spirits that we keep with us help us move forward and not let pressure and depression stay with us and let stress move away. So thank you, Haas, for 52. And then switching to A Poet in Every Prophet and Vic's number 50. This poem is called I'm Working on My Dream. Oh, so far it's only taken a lifetime. Yet I think I made some progress, even great strides. So don't ask me about a 9 to 5. Help me stay on track. Watch me do what I have to do to survive. So far, my plan is to only work on it 24 hours a day, to be and breathe my blessing into all I do and say. When others suppose I'm wandering, they'll stand in wonderment at how direct my route, while ignore the bumps and bruises and overcome the pain that makes the weak scream and shout. I'll dare to lose what I have to keep my pace so blind. Faith, hope, and trust guide my every step. Victory is already mine. You see, I'm working on my dream, created in my reality state of mind. I've got people trying to push me even higher, people who recognize that I can't do it alone with so much at stake. So we join in going through the trials and tribulations to keep one another safe and awake. What we share most earnestly is the truth, for that's the stuff dreams are made of. And I'm working on my dream sent down to me from my spirit up above. Action speaks louder than words because action speaks louder than words because talk is cheap. And I'm going far more than to you it may seem. I'm working on me. Can't talk right now. I'm working on my dream. You have to keep going, and you need the right people in your life to push your spirit forward so that you can work on your dream, which is working on you. Thank you, Vic, for I'm working on my dream. Now, part of my dream back in 1994, when I began my entrepreneurial life, was the sharing of my original gift, my poetic gift, to uplift people's lives. And that is my glue for today. Each of us is whole, yet only a percentage of who we were and who we'll become. Each of us needs kindred spirits to give thanks for. So just as the guiding scripture and the subscripture talk about the evil that can come out of our hearts, here's the Sporty King remix. And that is from the, oops, let me get rid of that. Boom. Okay. Even from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all the sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. Well, I say from Sporty 1-0, from the heart come good thoughts, life, trust, all other spiritual, moments, sharing, truth, and praise. That's from the book of Sporty 1-0. And here's our reminder that evil things are guiding lights for us to check ourselves. Know we can use stuff to get through stress and help our dreams come true. You can't make your dreams come true, but you can help your dreams come true. Know that half can be whole when you have the right spirits in your life. And I thank you all for being those wonderful spirits for me. To this day, I call my gift Spoetry. Spoetry. Sporty's poetry opens emotions to reach you. And that's going to be our new series. Now, I haven't written anything new in quite some time, but beginning next week, we'll start a 7-week series similar to the alphabet series, where you give me words beginning with the featured letter from Spoetry, and I'll write a poem actually getting all the words in. Now, next week's featured letter is going to be E. So put words in the thread beginning with the letter E, and I'm going to actually get those, create a poem from that. And because of the delay, I know I keep going, but thank you, Daphne. I'm working on my dream. Yeah, we all should be working on our dream. So next week's feature letter is going to be from the word Spoetry, and it's going to be the letter E. Put words that begin with the letter E in the thread. Okay. And before we sign off, everybody who's on live and who'll be a co-author by putting a word in a thread will actually also get a chance to give me the topic. So what I'm going to do is, after I've gotten your word, I'm going to give you a chance to pick a number between 1 and 10. Don't put your number in there yet. And whoever comes the closest will get a topic to me by tomorrow. And I'll use that topic to create the poem from the words you're looking at in the thread right now. So Put words in there that begin with the letter E. That's all I want you to do right now. Put words that begin with the letter E, and I will collect those. I will wait now because we got a little delay in technology. Meanwhile, even if you're watching the video, you can still put words that begin with the letter E. You just won't be in the sweepstakes to see who gets to give me the title. So Haas is giving me the word East. And the words don't have to match. Y'all know how I roll. But this is, so again, this is where I thank you for being my spirits. I haven't written a poem in a while. So I'm going to actually write a poem that has these words in it. And then once we see who's my person that wins the first time, where they're going to tell me what the poem is going to be, the title of the poem is going to be Essential. So we've got East, and the Haas is from the East Coast. And then Essential. Yeah, essentials like essential oils. But what do we really need? Remember in Invisible Light, my want becomes need. What do you need? Just like, I really needed to be at the funeral. So you got it. You're sticking with that there, Daphne. I know my mother used to say, well, so mommy, I need so much. You don't, all you need to do is stay black and die. Everything else is a want. So what's essential? Okay, Vic, are you still there? Nope. Okay. It looks like, okay. So it's going to be between Haas and Daphne, who gets to call me and give me or email me and tell me what the title is going to be. So what I want you to do is put a number between 1 and 10 in the thread, and whoever comes the closest, that's who's going to be giving me the title. I've already put the number down. It's on the next slide. So you put in the thread. I'm gonna wait for you to put your number in the thread of what number you want to be, and then you're going to be the person that tells me what the topic of the poem is going to be. So Haas and Daphne. Haas puts 8. Daphne, you got a number? And it looks like it says just that. It looks like it could be just me and you here, Haas. So it might end up because it shows only one person looking. So, and that might be it. I'm going to give it a count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And they both put the same number. And I meant to say, if it's the same number, whoever put it first, that's who it'll be. But the number would have been 4. And so Haas is going to be the person who gives me the title. Oh, Daphne, you must have got cut off and now you're back on. Yeah, but that's how I'll do it. I'll always say, everybody click the number at the same time and we'll see. But Haas, I'll be emailing you and we'll get the title of your poem for next week. But meanwhile, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all my co-authors for today's GAIN message and our closeout of the GAIN series. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know I had a ball with it, but it's time for us to go on and move to the next. Oh, I didn't even show people that Haas put an 8. And Daphne also put an 8. So that's great to see great minds thinking alike. That's the other way of looking at it. All right. But so next week, we're going to be doing this poetry series. I thank my co-authors for helping us. And I'll remind you that you never have to hump, but you always have to do everything you can to keep it together. And that's what God's love will do. It will undo everything that has been torn apart. Thank you for keeping also my website in your browser. And anytime you want to go in and buy, purchase, and share as a gift, possibly one of my inspirational products, there they are, Sporty at sportyking.com. Thanks again for joining me in Glue, and God bless you, and I will see you next week or sooner. Ciao. And I always pause because of the pause. And see, there we go. There you go, Daphne. Double 4s. See, oh, wow. See, the numbers work for us. We don't work for the numbers. The numbers work for us. Both of y'all had a double 4 and 8, and that 4. I tell you, isn't this fun? I'm having a ball. That's what I always say when people say, "Oh, when you speak," I say, "When I speak, I'm having a great time. Y'all are welcome to join me." Because they'll say, "You look like you're having such a good time on the stage," and when you speak, I say, "I am. I'm having a great time." So you're welcome to join me, but I'm gonna have a great time because God has sent me with a message. And that's how you have to look at it. When you have an opportunity to speak, to whether it's to a group or in a conversation, God is sending a message through you. And so that's the joy. Wow, God has given me a chance to deliver a message. I'm going to have a good time, and I want to make sure that I deliver the right message. And that will bring the joy to your heart. And that's the enthusiasm people will see in your delivery. So thank you, and take care, family, and stay alert. Thank you, Haas, for always reminding us of that. I met a guy at the gas station the other day, and he just laughed. He said, "Yeah, I'm glad, happy for another day." I said, "Hey, I'm happy for another moment." He said, "I like that better." Thanks for every moment, Lorenzo. Blessings from 46 to 76 year born and current age. Thanks. I hear you yet. I see you. That's, yeah. See, because you can hear someone, but do you see them for who? Because like they say, even the devil knows scripture. So you have to know who you're listening to and who you're looking at. So thank you for that. Yeah. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, yep. Everything is in. Everything is in. So Purple Heart, and by the way, that a lot of veterans, well, some veterans got the Purple Heart. I think you can also get Purple Heart posthumously. So let me not go with too much than what I don't know about. But the Purple Heart is a blessing, and I know it is a military heart as well. Look, y'all have been wonderful spirits. Devil was once an angel. Yes. You have to realize that. We found that out in Job, especially. We didn't find that out in Genesis. We just still him as a serpent. But in Genesis, there was the angels were flying about, around and about. And when Satan came, God said, "Well, where you been?" He said, "Oh, I've been flying around and about looking for people." So the devil was an angel. And probably, and in fact, still is. Evil spirits can still be angels. We got to define what an angel is. See, there's a whole nother sermon. Whole nother piece of glue. Keep it together, y'all. That's what we do. I'm out of here. Sporty King. Peace.